Greetings, comic book fans. Blue Goblin here with another comic book review blog. So let's get started with part one of this installment. I'm going to be covering 4 Marvel books, and the last one will be a DC book, and I think you already know what it is. And in the second part, we're going to be taking a look at Avengers books. So let's get started with Ultimate Spider-Man, number 131. I really hate to say this, but Brian Michael Bendis is slipping a little bit with this particular title. I wasn't captivated by it at all. It was just a bland read. It was just, what do you call so-so? It was just, yeah. Nothing really spectacular happens. I mean, yeah, it's Spider-Man and Ultimate Hulk, and that's about it. Nothing really great happens in this book, and that's really disappointing because I'm a huge fan of Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm really looking forward to the relaunch after Ultimatum. But right now, might want to pass on this one. You don't really need it. They're probably going to cover what happens in here in the upcoming issue of Ultimatum, so don't really think you need it. Next up, we got the Thunderbolts. Hope I can get the glare off the camera. Here we go. 129. This is a good read. Was it as good as 128? Maybe not. But this was still an interesting continuation of the new direction for the Thunderbolts. Now that Black Widow 2 is the new leader, and once again, you know, the hilarity of Ant-Man continues to be great. It's funny. I love what they did with the Green Goblin in this particular issue. It was very nicely written. You know, I was expecting one thing, but got something else. You know, I'm not going to spoil it, but what I got, when my expectations were shot, it was actually a good thing. I was glad that, I'm going to go ahead and spoil one thing. I was expecting the Green Goblin to be a robot, and thank God he wasn't. That's just me. But this is still a good series. If you want to get your Thunderbolts fill, you can go ahead and pick this up and continue to pick up Dark Adventures. This and Dark Adventures will continue to give you your Thunderbolts fix. This is really good stuff. Very nice. I like it. Next up here, let's see. I want to review these in order. Wolverine Origins, bub. Number 33. I'm a huge fan of Wolverine, but honestly, this one was just okay. Nothing much but a bunch of storytelling about Wolverine's past, some shit that we probably already know, and shit about Weapon X, this and that, Nick Fury talking to Wolverine like that ain't happened before. I'd say go ahead and get it if you're a fan of Wolverine. Otherwise, what's really the point? They just talk about, we learn about the identity, we learn who Wolverine's mother was, like we really need that. We learn about the Hudson family, about his son Dakin. That's nothing but a bunch of reminiscing and flashbacks. That's all it is. Kind of, it's okay, but I wouldn't say it was stellar. Next up, X-Force, number 12. To me, this book started off a bit slow. But man, toward the middle of the book and definitely toward the end of the book, it started picking up, and wow. Now, I got to tell you, there's a 2-page spread at the end of the book that'll just make you go, what the fuck? This was a nice issue. I got to tell you, X-Force is the book to have if you're an X-Men fan. This is just my opinion, but if you had a choice between 3 X books, let's pick 3 X book titles. Let's pick Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Legacy, and X-Force. If you were literally forced to pick one of those books to add to your collection, I'd say get this. Get X-Force, because Uncanny X-Men and X-Men Legacy are just pitiful right now, and this is a refreshing step back up if you're an X-Men fan. Yet again, another X-book, another excuse to put a Wolverine in another comic book, but I look past that and I see an excellent series. Go ahead and get it. This issue kicks ass. Yeah, Green Lantern, number 38. You better believe that this book still kicks ass. Continues the story with the Rage of the Red Lanterns. With what we got in issue 37 with Hal Jordan, I mean, come on. I was on the edge of my seat. I had to know what was going to happen after what we got in issue 37. This is incredible. I've said it before. I'll say it again. A lot of other comic book reviewers here on YouTube have said it as well. If you need to get just one DC title, you got to make it this one. This is just awesome. Blackest Night, the way it's being hyped, the way it's being built up through Green Lantern and through Green Lantern Corps, I'm serious when I say this. I believe that Blackest Night is going to just beat the living shit out of Final Crisis, because Final Crisis was such a disappointment. Blackest Night is so going to knock it out of the ballpark for DC. It's probably going to be DC's best storyline of the year. It is going to be incredible. I can't wait until Blackest Night starts. And I made a bet. I made a promise to somebody that I was going to do this. We see in the Origin and Omens section, we see right here, Harold Ferris becomes a Star Sapphire. Okay, I'm going to read the oath of the Star Sapphire. For hearts long lost and full of fright, for those alone in blackest night, accept our ring and join our fight. Love conquers all with violet light. There, I did it. I did it because one of my friends dared me to do it, and I said, you know what the hell. This is that oath is the only problem I had with Green Lantern in this issue, because that has got to be, without a doubt, the lamest Lantern oath I've ever heard. And that's the only problem I have with this book. But I mean, come on, it's Green Lantern, Rage of the Red Lanterns continuation. Blackest Night's coming up. How could you pass up this book? This is incredible. Pick of the week right here. Get it. You will not be disappointed. Well, that's it for part 1. So when part 2 comes along, we're going to assemble the Avengers. So until then, later.